My name is Kelly Rollix, and for my great moments in art education, I will be discussing visual and aesthetic literacy. The emergence of visual and aesthetic literacy from 1890 through the 1920s proved to be an important piece in the history and development of art education. The belief that the language of reading art could be taught was the central idea in incorporating visual and aesthetic literacy into art education. However, early advocates Mark Hopkins and Reverend Joseph Torrey believed that aesthetic and visual literacy was intellectual, but could also elevate and refine the human spirit. Mark Hopkins further asserted that studies in aesthetics would potentially be beneficial to society. Additionally, during these early years of development, visual and aesthetic literacy was seen as a method to reach immigrant students. The central focus of art education during the 1940s and through the early 1960s was centered on creativity and self-expression. Frankston asserted that solely focusing on the objectives of creativity and self-expression did not keep up with the changes in society and schools. Frankston further connects several aspects of visual and aesthetic literacy between art education and society, suggesting that a person who is aesthetically and visually literate will be able to understand art not only as an artist, but as a viewer, with the ultimate goal of cultivating a society involving all people to be visually literate and aesthetically sensitive to their environment. During the late 1970s, Holden cites the Back to Basics movement as a setback to art education. This was a result of a poll in which Americans indicated that more attention should be spent on basic skills in public schools, thus weakening the position of the arts. Testing and evaluation components of federally funded projects are believed to be the main reason for this shift. However, Holden also states that the same survey indicates that 67% of Americans also believe that schools should play a role in developing moral behavior in students. In response to this, Holden suggests that aesthetic values are able to be learned, as are other sets of moral values. In the late 1990s, Eubanks details many aspects of visual and aesthetic literacy that align with language, explaining that children often use visual language before verbal language development. Critics and researchers alike cite similarities to language, often comparing the receptive and expressive components. Eubanks also states that children often have limited vocabulary, especially in regard to emotional descriptors. Although children internally understand and manifest a wide range of emotions, this research suggests that the awareness and reproduction of facial expressions may lead children to increase expression and vocabulary related to emotion. In conclusion, incorporating visual and aesthetic literacy in art education enables students to communicate, understand, and express emotion. This remains a critical component in art education practices in a world where compassion, communication, and understanding of the world at large is needed now more than ever.